100k is done and dusted in the New Balance Outsole SC Elite 3. Now let's get into the full review. Okay, so the SC Elite 3 is New Balance's latest super shoe. So it's a neutral carbon plated road marathon racing shoe. It comes in at a weight of about 80 ounces or 228 grams in a US size 9. And it's priced at $320 in Australia and $230 in the US. So $320 is about the asking price of a super suit these days. 7.5 out of 10. And for a racing shoe that is 80 ounces, I'm not so impressed. 7.5 out of 10. But into the upper here, the upper is a one-piece booty design. It's engineered mesh throughout. It's a racing feel, so there's not a lot of padding in the actual shoe itself. So the padding in the heel collar is quite minimum. There is no padding whatsoever in the tongue, and you can see that the tongue is just like elastic. It's super flexible, but no padding. The heel counter is quite rigid actually. It's quite firm. The toe box is really breathable, but that's what you want in a racing shoe. The lacing system. So the lacing system is attached by this rope, embroidered or rope or sewn in rope mechanism. And that's my first gripe of this shoe. So I didn't feel this eventually, but as the runs got on, I've got irritation at the top of the shoe. And that's where the embroidery, it actually runs inside the shoe, and it's giving me some irritation on the top of the foot. And I forgot to mention, it has got a heel tab on the back here, and that is definitely required on this shoe because this shoe is really hard to put on the foot. You've got to squeeze, lift this up and pull your heel tab in just to squeeze it in. It's a little bit like the Alpha Fly. The lockdown is fine. I've had no issues with that, and the fit for me is true to size. So for me, the upper is fine, except for that one piece of irritation on the front, so that's going to drop it in points, 7.5 out of 10. So in the midsole here, we have got 2 layers of their super foam, which is their fuel cell. Now this fuel cell is a different composition to the one that is seen in the SC Trainer. But it's got the 2 layers, and in between, sandwiched between that, is their carbon plate. We've got a stack height here of 39 in the rear, 35 in the front, giving us a 4mm drop. Now, as on the previous version in the RC Elite 2, there was a lot of complaints of how soft and mushy that shoe was. So on feel, the foam feels as soft, or if not softer than that. However, the ride is totally different. So the ride, for me, doesn't feel mushy. It actually feels quite responsive, and the feeling through the front of the toe box when you get up on the forefoot, it actually feels, it firms out and it feels quite snappy. When you slow down to the sole paces, the energy arc and the foam itself start compressing, and they make the shoe really comfortable at those slow paces. So yeah, the ride is cushioned, it's soft. However, when you want to pick it up, it does get responsive, and that's assisted by this rocket geometry here. So the ride is very similar to the SC Trainer, which I mentioned in my first impressions review. So if you like that one, think of this one is an SC Trainer that's lost a lot of weight and a lot more snappier. But ride very similar. For me, the midsole is very nice. Love how it's very comfortable at all those speeds, and I love the rocket geometry. 8.5 out of 10. So in the outsole here, it's very reminiscent or almost identical as the SC Trainer, if you're familiar with that one. Rubber in the strategically placed areas, and we've got some more rubber on the carbon plate there to protect that one where it gets really close to the ground. You can see the big decouple groove or the huge crevice there. You can see how far my fingers go in to the carbon plate there. Haven't caught any rocks in this one yet. However, it's going to happen, be sure of that. I've got a few knocks and scratches on the carbon plate from rocks. For 100Ks though, for a marathon racing shoe, I'm actually pretty surprised about the durability. Like, the rubber is holding up quite well. There's a little bit of wear down here, but it's a marathon racing shoe. I don't expect the durability to be super high. So pretty good score here, 8 out of 10. Okay, so best use for this one is obviously what it's designed for. So it is a marathon racing, and that marathon pace in this one is fine. So as I mentioned before, it's actually really comfortable on the slower paces as well. So if you just want to jog along in this one, anything under marathon pace, this one is very comfortable and a cruiser at that. Where this does fall down, and that is if you want to do anything a little faster than marathon pace. So threshold and racing at a shorter distance or shorter reps, I think this one is just lacking a little bit of magic in the midsole. It's just lacking that little bit of pop that the other marathon racing shoes have. Hence why I'm not going to recommend it for anything really under a marathon. So marathon pace it's good to go. What it is also a great shoe for, and that's the long run. If this upper doesn't irritate you, then definitely a big thumbs up for the long run for this one. So other shoes to buy, all the other brands out there have all got their marathon racing shoe. So this one is certainly one worth to consider. So think about the Vaporfly and the Endorphin Pro. This one's got a definite different feel to it, and it's just going to come up to whatever you prefer as a racing shoe. For me, my preference, this isn't the first one that I'm going to grab. However, it's definitely one worth to consider. So in summary, yes, this is a good marathon racing shoe, but it's just lacking that little bit of magic that its competitors have. Is it going to be my pick for my next marathon? No, it's not. Is it going to be my pick for a half marathon race? No, it's not. Do I think it's a good shoe? Yeah, it's a good shoe, but I'm going to use it, or it's going to be in my rotation as a long run shoe. So it's going to replace my SC trainer. And it's a pretty expensive long run shoe. If, however, though, you're a New Balance fan and you just like the ride of the SC trainer, then this is going to be a good marathon shoe for you. Right, so I'd be really keen to hear what you guys think about the SC Elite number 3. Are you going to get yourself a pair when it does release at the start of February? Or have you already got the early release in the New York colorway like I have? Be keen to hear what everyone else thinks of their experience in it. Also, let me know what you've thought about the SC trainer as well in the comments below. I'd be interested to hear what you've got to say then. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching again, and don't forget to subscribe, give us a like, and we'll see you next time.